pitch. Hold is down. Kick is on the way. And it's off the left upright again. No good. Unbelievable. That has got to be a 2 in 1 million shot. He hit the left upright on 2 consecutive attempts. No good again. Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen that before. We stay tied at 20 with 9:44 left. This is Buffalo Bills football.
Touchdown! Throughout the 2024 season, each NFL team channel on the SiriusXM app will feature the team's pre- and post-game shows before and after every game.
What's given me confidence is how they've responded to adversity.
Get instant reaction, live interviews, and press conference audio. Now your favorite team's broadcast includes their pre- and post-game shows all season long on the SiriusXM app. All 32 team channels are also available in vehicles equipped with SiriusXM 360L radios.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM.
Let's go, man!
We're back on the track Sunday.
1:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the South Point 400
from Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah!
On SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app. Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are with the SiriusXM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer! Yes!
2K your way with SiriusXM channels designed to shift your timeline. Jump into the pit with hard rock and new metal on Turbo, Channel 41.
It's just one of those days!
Go hard all day with zeros and tens hip-hop on Flex 2K, Channel 49. Bees in the track. Or sink into your feels with alternative anthems on Alt 2K. Listen to all of these and more 2000s channels across SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
The #1 pro wrestling podcast on the planet is now on YouTube. This is Dave LaGreca from Busted Open. Join us every day to watch in-depth conversations with the biggest names in pro wrestling.
Consistently the best wrestling show.
With Cody Rhodes, Swerve Strickland, Becky Lynch, Goldberg, Ric Flair, The Undertaker.
I'm actually glad to be on a real show.
And so many more. Plus daily breakdowns of the world of wrestling. Subscribe to us now. Search Busted Open on YouTube.
With the SiriusXM app, you can hear your hometown announcers all season long. Just search for your team on the SiriusXM app and tap the star to save it as your favorite.
So big development here towards the end of the game in the fourth quarter. DJ Reed, cornerback for the Jets, has a groin injury. He's doubtful to return, guys.
All right. Injury reports are brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Car crash. For help, call 1-800-8-million. Our spotter, Jeff Matthews, reminded me of the double doink game by Cody Parkey. He hit the upright 4 times in a game. So I stand corrected. Handoff on 1st and 10. Ray Davis going to bounce it outside, 35-40, and tackled out of bounds at the 41-yard line by Jamie and Sherwood.
Bills start a drive here in the second half without a penalty to start it off. We'll see if they can have some better luck. They've been held scoreless here so far in the second half.
Number 70 is reporting eligible. Number 70 reporting eligible, 7-0.
It's a gain of 7 for Davis. Brandon Eccles is the replacement for DJ Reed outside. He was spotting as the backup nickel. Allen with a quick hitter to Keon Coleman on a slant, going right after Eccles. And it's good for a first down out to midfield.
That's week-to-week growth by the rookie. That's the same play last week that he let go off the side of his head. Josh Allen sees that quick hitter. That's a design run play. He knows he's got free access on that slant, and he takes the free one there to Keon Coleman.
So it's a 1st and 10 for Buffalo right at midfield. Samuel on the right, Valdez-Scantling on the left in a 2 tight end set. Davis the lone setback with Allen under center. Here's the snap. Pitch play to the right. Trying to get through a hole, and he does. Lowers his shoulder and gets 3 on the play. Down to the 47 into Jets territory. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Buffalo Bills Radio Network.
Listen to groundbreaking interviews and thrilling play-by-play all season long.
Touchdown!
On SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
Back at MetLife Stadium, coming to you live from the Northwest Bank broadcast booth. Northwest Bank for what's next. Tied at 20, 7:55 left and counting. Bills with the football. Allen in the shotgun on 2nd and 7 from the Jets 46. Here's the snap. Back to pass, looking left, has Kincaid in the left flat. 45-40, and leaps a defender and goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 14 on the play.
You just feel like if the Bills could get out of their own way here, especially on the offensive side of the ball, they're going to be able to put drives together. So far this one, they put a clean one together, and they're hitting chunk plays on this Jets defense.
7:25 and counting.
Defense.
7:25 and counting left in the game, tied at 20. Kincaid out to the left, 3 receivers out to the right. Samuel, Hollins, Coleman. Allen in the shotgun with Davis to his left. Play clock down to 6. Here's the snap. Handoff goes to Davis, trying to be patient, working behind a blocker, Brown, and gets up over the 30, down to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Let's go down to the sidelines to Sal.
Guys, we've had 3 missed kicks in this game, 4 missed kicks, and 3 of them have been pushed towards the Jets sideline. Just something to remember here as the Bills come down here and potentially try to get a go-ahead field goal.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Davis to the left of Allen, the shotgun. Here's the snap, looking left. Allen fires, and it's complete to Coleman. Spins away from the tackler and gets down to the 18-yard line before he's forced over the sideline by Eccles. The Bills are in the Relax red zone. Relax, we got this.
Josh Allen's attacking that left side of the field. The Jets do not flip-flop their corners.
7 is reporting eligible. Number 70 is reporting eligible. 70.
The Jets do not flip-flop their corners, and so they're going to continue to attack that left side of the secondary of the Jets when they're in the passing game with the absence of DJ Reed.
11 yards on that pass play to Coleman. Allen under center here, 4 on the play clock. Here's the snap. Handoff goes to Davis, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. Fights to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he's going to get dropped for a 2-yard loss at the 20. Ashton Davis knifed in from the side of the formation there.
Yeah, he was accounted for by the tight end. It's hard. I couldn't tell what his number was along that left side. I believe Kincaid, but he knifed inside towards the offensive line. Kincaid had no shot of being able to take an angle to get to him there.
2nd and 11. Coleman on the right, 3 receivers to the left. Davis to the right of Allen in the shotgun. Here's the snap. 4-man rush. Allen looking left. Pocket collapsing. Fires to the right sideline, out of bounds on a throwaway, and is hit late by Kinlaw, and the flags fly. It's going to be roughing the passer. At least I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, 54 Kinlaw threw him down at the end of that one. I figured we'd get a pretty quick call on this one. That's why I laid out.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 54. That penalty could force half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Josh Allen flailed a little bit at the end of that one. Might have had some contact to the head. They're calling this one tight here tonight. I believe that's going to be the 8th penalty on the Jets. There's been 10 enforced on the Bills here tonight.
So that'll make it 1st and goal on the 9. Allen under center, Coleman to the right, 2 tight ends set. Samuel in motion left to right. Davis alone set back. He's going to take the handoff. Going to try to cut it back against the grain and gets tripped up at the 8-yard line. He's down to the 7. It's a gain of 2. Brandon Eccles got him.
Eccles with a touchdown-saving tackle there. If he doesn't swipe the legs out from underneath Ray Davis there, he's going to go in for the touchdown.
Clock continues to run here as we come up on 4:45 left and counting in this one, and we are knotted at 20. 2 receivers to the left, counting Kincaid, 2 to the right. Allen in the shotgun here. Davis to his left in the backfield. Play clock down to 5. Here's the snap. Back to pass, looking left, steps up in the pocket, thought about running, and he is wrapped up on a nice play by Quinnen Williams, who dropped him for no gain.
Yeah, Quinnen Williams, if he doesn't retrace his steps there, Josh Allen's going to run in for the touchdown. He was rushing outside of David Edwards and just makes a late spin move to prevent Josh Allen to be able to take off for 6 here. And that was going to be a walk-in touchdown if he doesn't get him there. Jets playing a little cat and mouse here. They actually flip-flopped Sauce Gardner over to the left side of the Bills offense. Generally, he just plays on the right side.
Allen in the shotgun, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Back to pass, fires down the middle, looking for Hollins, and it was tipped by Isaiah Oliver. Hollins still got a hand on it, but he could not come up with it. Incomplete, and the field goal unit will come on.
Josh Allen knew he had cover 0 there. He was going to Mac Hollins. Very similar play to what the Bills scored on against the Cardinals earlier in the season. Just off the mark there, unable to come down with it. Tyler Bass is going to come out for a chance to give the Bills the lead here with 3:46 left.
25-yard field goal attempt brought to you by Univera Healthcare, right here for Western New York teams on and off the field. And there's movement on the line, and a flag flies. Both sides are pointing at each other.
It didn't even look like Bass was lined up for the kick. If you get this half the distance to the goal, if it does go against the Jets from the 4, I guess you just take the points in this situation and still do the field goal attempt, but Sean McDermott's got a decision to make.
These officials have completely taken over the football game. Dare I say, hijacked the football game. They're still having a caucus at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, there's 2 flags on the field, one along the Bills sideline and one kind of at the linebacker level of the Jets defense.
I mean, they're in field goal block. They're still talking. This is interesting, to say the least. It was going to be a 25-yard field goal attempt for Bass from the left hash.
Neutral zone infraction, defense. Number 54. That penalty supports half the distance to the goal, remains 4th down.
So Javon Kinlaw was the guilty party.
Bills players looked over at the sideline. Sean McDermott gave him the arms up for another field goal attempt here.
So that'll move it a little closer, as this will be a 20-yard field goal, I think. They're looking to see where they spot the ball after the penalty. That's going to be a 22-yard attempt from the left hash. Snap by Ferguson, hold by Martin, kick by Bass is up, and it is good. So with 3:43 left, the tie has finally been broken. Bills have the lead, 23-20. 3:43 left. And
we got another flag down. This one's right over the top of the long snapper. If they lined up over the long snapper,
that's illegal.
This might be a decision now for the Bills.
Well, that's half the distance again, right? You're on the 2. The Bills seem pretty excited about it, so.
After the field goal, unsportsmanlike conduct against the New York Jets, number 54, for improper conversation with an official. That counts as his first towards disqualification. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Timeout.
So we'll get that squared away after the ensuing kickoff. For now, we take a break. This is Buffalo Bills football.
Hey, football fans, this is Jim Miller.
And I'm Pat Kerwin. Be sure to join us tomorrow for Moving the Chains at 3 p.m. Eastern on NFL Radio.
We'll be covering all the action from Bills Jets on Monday night and talking with Commanders head coach Dan Quinn.
Plus, we'll keep you up to date with the latest injury news and start to peek ahead to Week 7. And whether you want to brag or you want to vent, we're always looking forward to your calls.
So come talk some ball with us tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, Sirius XM, NFL Radio, Channel 88, and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The American League Championship Series is on Sirius XM, the New York.
Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. The one that's listening to the Monday Night Football game with us. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate you hanging out with us. Now, please hit that subscribe button to help our amazing community continue to grow. We are on our way to 50K. Help us get there. Please hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single Buffalo Bills game this season, as well as tons of other sports action here on TSI. Bills Mafia, stand up. I can't see you. If you're part of Bills Mafia, you better be an insider and hit that subscribe button. Let's go, Bills. Let's get back to the football. Cheers, everybody. Let's have some fun in the chat and keep it classy.
XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
Don't miss a new episode this week of Forward Progress, a conversation on race and sports in America with Jason Jackson and Kirk Morris.
Hoop star Juju Watkins. Multi-year contract extension. Already had a deal with Nike. Let's just make it bigger. Give her one of the richest shoe endorsement deals in women's basketball.
She will have an influence by her play, her brand. She fits what Nike is doing.
Check out Forward Progress. New episodes each Wednesday on the SiriusXM app, included with all of our trials and popular plans. Just search Forward Progress.
Interact with our stable of former players, coaches, and executives all day long on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
Tyler Bass puts the Bills back into the lead. Our first Toyota drive time since the first half is 11 plays, 64 yards, 6 minutes and 1 second, which finished with the field goal. That's driven to you by Toyota, the official car and truck of the Buffalo Bills. So Tyler Bass now will tee it up from midfield here, guys.
Yes, he will, as we're coming to you live from the Northwest Bank broadcast booth. Northwest Bank for what's next. See if he tries to squib this through. And it looks like he does. And it's fielded for a touchback in the end zone. I was wondering if they could squib it through the landing zone, and that would make a touchback at the 20. Instead, he put it right in the end zone, and it'll come out to the 30. I don't see how that helped at all. So the offense for the Jets comes out, and they'll get started at their own 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Garrett Wilson, who took a hard shot on an unsuccessful touchdown play, is back in the game. He was back on the last possession as well. But good to go here as there's a receiver to each side on another heavy two tight end set by the Jets. Rodgers in the shotgun, takes the snap. Pressure coming, blitz is picked up, tries to throw it out left. Is that an incomplete pass or a fumble? What are they calling? Because the Bills have the football right now. No sign from the officials. They say Bills football. It's a fumble forced by Terrell Bernard.
In the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
This is going to undoubtedly be reviewed. But Rodgers was back in the pocket. Bernard came up on him almost by surprise and wrestled it loose. He would look to be in the throwing motion.
After review, correction, it was determined that it was a forward, incomplete pass. It will be second down.
Well, I want to know where the intended target is, because if there's no intended target, then that's intentional grounding in the pocket. It looked like Rodgers was holding onto that ball. It's like a spike down into the ground.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's still holding on to it. He's not trying to throw the ball.
He's not trying to throw the ball. I understand where you might call that an incompletion, but in that case, it should be an intentional grounding in the pocket.
So the Jets dodge a major disaster on another official call. Rodgers under center on 1st and 10, and looks like Coach McDermott's going to challenge the play.
I think this one's really unlikely to be overturned, but if it is, it's a game-changing play. You risk one of your timeouts here late in this one, though. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was holding on to that ball over the top of Terrell Bernard.
He was not throwing it. He's still holding the ball in his hand, which is what Coach McDermott is arguing. He's not doing a throwing motion if he's still holding the ball. And you have to believe that John Parry, the rules analyst, is helping Coach McDermott with this one. Let's go down the sidelines to Sal.
Actually, I think Sean McDermott is saying this is a tuck rule, guys, which now is a fumble because he was holding onto the ball.
Yeah.
If it's a tuck rule, it becomes a fumble. That's what Sean McDermott is arguing here.
There is no challenge on the play because there was a booth review. The ruling on the field was change of possession. The play was reversed as a replay reversal to an incomplete pass. Therefore, cannot be challenged. Buffalo retains both of their challenges.
All right, so that one's squared away, and we're back to 2nd and 10 on the Jets 30. I feel like this game is being legislated, not officiated.
There's absolutely no flow to this game. I can attest to that.
So Rodgers in the shotgun here. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hall in the backfield to the left of Rodgers on 2nd and 10 from the 30. Now Hall gets up on the line. Rodgers back to pass. Has time. Fires out to the right flat, complete to Conklin to the 35, and wrestled down by Taron Johnson. Got some help from Taylor Rapp. It's a gain of 6 on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
It's a nice play in open space there by Taron Johnson. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4 coming up for the Jets, who are 4 for 11 on 3rd down here tonight.
Taking a long time in the huddle here. And they break it at 13 seconds. Rodgers in the shotgun. Hall to his right. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Here's the snap. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Fires. And it's over the head of Garrett Wilson. And there's flags flying in from the sidelines. It's going to be pass interference, I'm guessing, or defensive holding. Yeah, pass interference.
I could barely get my eyes down the field. I was watching in the backfield to see if they're going to call another roughing the passer here as Aaron Rodgers went to the down.
Defense, number 47. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
That is the 11th enforced penalty, and it's a get-out-of-jail-free card for the Jets as they get a first down.
Christian Benford one-on-one on the outside against Garrett Wilson. And that is
horrific.
Terrible call as we get to see the replay.
That is a horrific call.
One, that ball is sailed. 2, they're just arm barring each other on the play.
1st and 10 for the Jets at their own 46. Fakes the handoff, back to pass, under pressure, and a flag flies again in the defensive backfield, and it's going to be defensive holding on the Bills.
I think we might get
There's a flag in the offensive backfield as well, probably holding on the Jets.
There were 2 fouls on the play. Holding offense, number 78. Holding defense, number 31. Those penalties offset. Replay, first down.
Good grief.
I mean, it is just stoppages after every single play. This game was chippy from the start. I guess that put these officials on high alert, but it is just constant yellow hankies laying on the field after every single play.
I don't think we've gone more than 3 plays in a row without a flag for about a quarter and a half here.
That's a safe assumption.
So bunch formation on the left for the Jets. Wilson by himself out on the right. Rodgers in the shotgun here on 1st and 10 from the 46. Takes the snap, pitch play to the left. Breece Hall with blockers in front. But Rasul Douglas dodges the blocker and upends Breece Hall after a brief gain of 2. That could have been a big gainer there, and Rasul Douglas was all by his lonesome out on the edge.
Oh, and he took a guess. I mean, he had to guess one way or the other around Tyron Smith, and he guessed inside. Breece Hall broke it inside, and it stops him for just a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7 as we come up on 2:15 and counting left. Rodgers in the shotgun here. Back to pass. Has time. Steps up in the pocket. Chucks it underneath to Hall, and he's got running room. Flags fly as it's a first down, and he's out of bounds into Buffalo territory at the 39. A.J. Epinesa forced him over the sideline, but this is probably coming back as well.
It's amazing there's only 1 flag down on the play. Generally, there's been 2 each play.
Holding offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty, remains second down.
And even the Jets fans are tired of the flags as we're coming to you live from the Northwest Bank broadcast booth. Northwest Bank for what's next.
Yeah, 22 total penalties enforced in this one, but there's been so many offsetting and picked up flags here tonight. But the Bills get the better end of that one. So We're going to have 2nd and 16 coming up here for the Jets. 2:05 left. Jets with 3 timeouts left in this one. Bills still with 2. Looks like there's going to be 1 remaining play here before the 2-minute warning.
Rodgers in the shotgun. They're going to go empty set. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Play clock down to 4. Here's the snap. Back to pass. Fires deep over the middle. And Taylor Rapp separates Jeremy Ruckert from the football. Another blistering hit by the Bills safety.
Jets sideline begging for a flag on the play. I'm surprised there wasn't one. They're going to say that play only took 4 seconds off the clock. They remain 2:01 in this on the clock here. And Taylor Rapp comes in. There's no contact by either player's helmet. Separates the football. 2 really nice pass breakups by Taylor Rapp here in this second half.
3 receivers to the right. And now Wilson comes to the left side. Rodgers in the shotgun, Hall to his right on 3rd and 16. Back to pass. Rodgers looking to load up. Fires deep. Rainbow down the field looking for Mike Williams. And it's intercepted. Taron Johnson, welcome back. A humongous interception by the nickel corner.
The ruling on the field is an interception. This is the 2-minute warning.
Buffalo Bills football brought to you in part by Toyota, the official car and truck of the Buffalo Bills. Toyota, let's go places. It's the 2-minute warning on the Buffalo Bills Radio Network.
I'm Ross Salino. Choose a law firm carefully. If 6 different firms handled your case, it would likely result in 6 different outcomes. That's just how it works. The compensation you receive really depends on the lawyer you hire and the reputation of the firm. Quite simply, the best lawyers typically get the best results. So choose wisely. Choose Salino. It may be the most important decision you ever make.
Car crash? Call Salino. Delaware Avenue, Buffalo.
At Northwest Bank, we're here for what's next. The next place to fill with love and laughter, with more mortgage options for first-time buyers. The next backyard patio party host, thanks to lines of credit with competitive rates. Even the next thing to check off your to-do list with home equity loans.
Are you ready for some football? It's a Monday night party! What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Bills and Jets Week 6 Monday Night Football matchup. It is time for you to let us know where you are watching from in the chat. Let us know in the chat where you're watching from. Put that flag emoji out there. If you're watching city and state, city and province for Canada, you know the drill. Let us know where you're watching from, and let's show the world how far our reach is together as a community here on Toronto Sports Insider. Cheers to all of you. Now back to the football. Let's go, Buffalo.
The Barnes firm settled my job accident case for 65 times more than insurance said they'd pay. Glad I called.
After a car rear-ended me, my attorneys at the Barnes firm got me $800,000.
Hi, I'm Rich Barnes. Is your case worth more than the insurance company says? Call the Barnes firm now. You might be surprised.
I called. My case was worth $600,000.
What's your case worth? Call our Buffalo office now and find out.
Past results don't predict future outcomes. 451 Grinder, 500 Pearl. You're listening to the Buffalo Bills Radio Network.
Still 152 for the Bills to try to close this one out. Then next week, they'll be home for a Sunday 1 o'clock game against the Tennessee Titans. That's your NFL scoreboard, delivered to you by the UPS store. Be unstoppable. Guys, a little while ago, I was down here talking with a couple of the security guys on the sideline. I said, man, I can't believe all these penalties. This game is going so late. They looked at me and said, we don't care. We're getting paid double time. Keep it going.
Well, we've got 152 left in this one. Bills with the football after a huge interception at the Bills' 18-yard line by Taron Johnson, playing in his first game since week 1, back from a fractured forearm. What a play. Allen under center here. Davis the lone setback, 2 receivers to the left in a heavy formation. Handoff goes to Davis. Through the middle and out to the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 5. And a timeout is called here by the Jets. This team timeout brought to you by Kaleida Health, the official healthcare provider of the Buffalo Bills.
All right, so Bills are going to pick up 5 on that one. Jets now with 2 timeouts left. And what a play by Taron Johnson before the break. Mike Williams, who had slipped and fallen on the turf, looked like he was going to come down with a catch. And Taron Johnson dives over the top of him to make an incredible interception on the play. And so the Bills are going to keep this ball on the ground. If they're able to get a first down here, they'll likely have to keep running the football to end the game. If they go 2 plays in a first, keeping it on the ground, this game will be over.
And they're going to keep their heavy set on the field. Alec Anderson is out there as the 6th offensive lineman. I believe both Kincaid and Knox are out there as well.
Ray Davis up to 96 yards in this one, averaging 5.1 a carry. He's also the Bills' leading receiver in this one. He has 55 yards. He had the long catch for 42 earlier in the game from Josh Allen. The rookie has stepped up in a big way. One of the biggest concerns heading into the game tonight was we knew the Bills wanted to get the ground game going tonight. Would they be able to without James Cook in the lineup? And they certainly have. They've rushed for 145 yards in this one.
We're coming to you live from the Northwest Bank broadcast booth. Northwest Bank for what's next. Jets have 2 timeouts left, and they'll try to burn those to stop the clock and get one more possession before this game's over. So that's why it's incumbent upon the Bills to get some first downs. So it looks like this timeout's wrapping up here, and the Bills will get back up on the ball, and presumably they're going to run it again.
It's been such a wild game here tonight with all the penalties, 4 missed kicks, 3 field goals, and an extra point here tonight. The Bills fortunate they find themselves up 3 right now, because it almost feels like with the way the officials have controlled, especially the second half, this game could almost go either way.
Number 70 is reporting eligible. Number 7 is reporting eligible.
Yeah, only a field goal for each team here in the second half as far as scoring goes. Jets tied it at 20, and then the Bills went ahead with a go-ahead field goal. 2nd and 5 here with 1:48 left. Heavy formation from the Bills as Kincaid comes to the left side of the formation. Allen under center, takes the snap, hands it off to Davis. Coming over the left side, and not a lot there, maybe a yard. And the Jets are going to call another timeout as that play burns all of 3 seconds. Down to 1:45 left, and the Jets down to a single timeout remaining. 3rd and 4. Kind of a tricky down here, Eric, but may have to throw for a first down at this point, as this team timeout is brought to you by Kaleida Health. Health lives here.
The only way I'm throwing here on 3rd and 4 is on a play-action rollout by Josh, where he has the opportunity to run for a first if there's space, or just take an obvious completion.
Ray Davis limping a little bit as he comes to the sideline, favoring that left leg. Ty Johnson has come into the game. So Johnson to the right of Allen in the shotgun, and the Bills are going to spread him out. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 6 on the play clock. Allen making a check. 4, 3 on the play clock. Here's the snap. Allen going to fake it and run it himself. And he outflanks the defensive end, and he's got the first down. 1:38 left, and Josh is feeling it. He outraced the defensive end for a first down with 1:29 left and counting, and the Jets have not called timeout.
This is such a good play call by Joe Brady. You get everybody's eyes in the defense going with Ty Johnson, who they fake a pitch to. You isolate Josh Allen against their least athletic edge defender in Michael Clemens, and Josh beats him past the sticks. Bills get the first down. They're going to be able to put a knee on this one and get out of New York with the victory.
So the Bills call a timeout here with 1 on the play clock. This team timeout brought to you by Kaleida Health. Oshai Children's Hospital help get kids back to being kids.
Bills fans who showed up here in MetLife tonight having some fun right now. You can hear some pretty nice roars here from the stands as all the Jets fans are piling out of here.
So there are 59 seconds left. The Jets do have one timeout left. They can stop the clock if they want. But Bills are in victory formation. They're going to kneel this thing out. There's the snap on 1st and 10. And the Jets do use their last timeout here. This team timeout brought to you by Kaleida Health. Oshai Children's Hospital is for our community's moms, kids, and babies.
Interesting tactic here on the kneel downs here at the end. They take Deion Dawkins and Spencer Brown out, I believe, to likely avoid a fight here as these final seconds go down in this one.
I would say you are 1,000% correct, Eric. 2nd and 11 after the kneel down by Josh. 56 seconds left, and the Jets can't stop the clock here. So Allen takes a knee, and the clock will run. And we'll see when they start it. So they'll have to snap it one more time to avoid a delay of game here on 3rd and 12, and that will do it. And the Bills will end a 2-game losing streak as Allen takes the snap on 3rd and 12, and you hear him hooting and hollering as the final 30 seconds will tick away as the Bills escape with a 23-20 victory. It was hard fought. It certainly wasn't pretty. But, Eric, you got to win the ugly ones, too.
You do. And this is a nice job by the Bills here tonight, getting out here with the win.
Let's go down the sidelines to Sal.
I'm standing here with Taron Johnson. First of all, welcome back. How did it feel to be back out with your teammates?
I mean, it felt great. I was just happy to be back out there. Haven't played since the first game of the season, so just happy.
Okay, tell me about the interception, end of the game. What did you see? How did it happen?
We caught a cover 2, and I was basically playing the half-field safety. I see Aaron. My hips are turned to the left side, so I had to do a speed turn to find the ball, and he ended up throwing it to the outside, and I made the play.
After 2 straight losses on the road, what does it mean for this team? Taron, what does it mean for this team to get back in the win column tonight, going back home after 2 losses on the road?
I think it's special, you know what I'm saying? But we made a lot of mistakes on defense, so we just got to make sure we clean them up, get back in the film room, and get better.
Heck of a game. Congratulations. Welcome back.
Appreciate you.
All right, you got it. That is Taron Johnson right there, guys. What a game by him tonight. A game-sealing interception. Boy, I think the Bills needed that guy back, no doubt about it. Taylor Rapp comes up big as he returns to the lineup. And how about the rookie Ray Davis? A fantastic game, filling in mostly for James Cook tonight. The Buffalo Bills. It wasn't easy. It wasn't pretty at times, but 23-20 here tonight at MetLife Stadium over the New York Jets. They moved to 4-2 and are back home next week. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Sal. Ray Davis with a gigantic game. He didn't get the start technically because Ty Johnson was on the field on the first play from scrimmage, but 152 total yards. He is the leading rusher and the leading receiver. And boy, did he set a physical tone early, Eric.
He did. And this is the first game that he's been able to really get in a flow. Guys like Ray Davis who are thumping backs, they generally need to wear on a defense, and he did throughout this one. And this was a physical game from the jump. The Bills come out and bully the Jets on the first drive, really hurt themselves a bunch of times in drives offensively, just moving themselves back with penalties. But, you know, you come into New York here tonight, the Jets fire their head coach this year. Everyone talks about that one-game bump you get after you fire a head coach. They came out spirited tonight. The offense looked a lot better tonight than it has so far this season, but the Bills able to come away with the victory.
You were sitting on that interim head coach bump the whole game. You were waiting to use that at the end, weren't you? You were a little dismissive of some of the records that were getting thrown out around there in the first game after an interim head coach takes over. I'll throw one at you. The Bills haven't lost 3 in a row since 2018. They were threatened with that tonight coming into this one, but they've never lost 3 straight following a 3-0 start. They've started 3-0 12 times in their history. They've never fallen to 3-3 in any of those situations. And this one, probably the most important one, the Bills are now 21-5 against the AFC East since 2020. That is the best record in football. They broke a tie with the Kansas City Chiefs, who were idle this week. That is impressive. And Think about the distance, Eric, that they've put between themselves and the rest of the division here in the early going.
Yeah, the Jets had an opportunity tonight to be in first place in the AFC East, own the early tiebreaker against the Bills in the division. And so you come in here and you take a road win in the division. Those are generally always going to be difficult, and the Bills come out with the victory tonight.
And a big victory it was, because they get to end the road trip, a 3-game road trip, on a good note. They're back for home cooking next Sunday when they host the Tennessee Titans. Stay tuned for Coach McDermott's postgame comments brought to you live by Northtown Kia. Easy for me to say. Western New York's #1 Kia dealer. Shop northtownkia.com. As we said, next week, Week 7, Bills back at home, and boy, they will be eager to get back in front of their hometown fans as they miss home cooking. We haven't been home in a month. It feels like forever since we've been in Highmark Stadium for a football game, and it's a 1 o'clock start next Sunday. Time to thank our crew here on hand and back in our Amherst, New York studios. Our spotter is Jeff Matthews, on-site engineering Todd Large and James Driscoll, game day production Todd Brody, program scheduling Mary Jane Smith, senior network board op Michael Moran, your network engineer Derek Abbey, chief engineer Tom Matty, director of engineering Al Moranka, director of sports sales Jill Kowalski, program director Alan Davis, the man who always hauls on a line handsomely, Tim Wenger, network game day producer Zach Jones and Tanner Saunders. Your executive producer is Greg Harvey. Your final once again here at MetLife Stadium. The Bills take it on Monday Night Football 23-20 over the division rival New York Jets. They improved to 4-2 on the season. And as we said, in Week 7, they host the Tennessee Titans this coming Sunday at 1 o'clock for a kickoff. For our entire crew here and Eric Wood, Chris Brown saying so long from MetLife Stadium. This is the Buffalo Bills Radio Network.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey Sports. For even more coverage of your team, download the free Odyssey app and listen to your favorite stations, shows, and podcasts.
This Buffalo Bills broadcast is being brought to you by Northwest Bank. For what's next, get started at northwest.com.
By Lake Hour Premium Tequila and Vodka Hard Seltzers, Geneseo, New York.
By the New York State Office of Mental Health. Get the help you need, dial 988.
By Snapdragon Apples, the official apple of the Buffalo Bills.
By Tullamore Dew. When it's game time, it's Tully time.
And by Haynes Supply. From our Buffalo roots to nationwide sales and service, we are your industrial contractor supplier.
Kaleida Health is more than a place to work. For our employees, this is the place to build a career.
Longevity, the stability, I absolutely love Kaleida. Being 24 years here at Kaleida is an amazing job and accomplishment.
I started my career with Kaleida Health as an intern, and now I'm proud to be the president and CEO.
Kaleida Health is the place to make a job mean more. Apply at kalaidahealth.org/careers.
Lake Hour presents Real Fans of Buffalo. Real Fans of Buffalo. Today, we salute you, Mr. Everyone Quiet, our team is on offense guy. Mr. Shh, team is on offense guy. You're not just a fan. You're the gatekeeper of game day focus. And when the boys need a first down, you need a Lake Hour. It's like high noon, but way better. Lake Hour. Drink responsibly.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey! Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol, William Grant & Sons Inc., New York.
Brought to you by Tullamore Dew. When it's game time, it's Tully time.
Ready!
Buffalo Bills game day on the Buffalo Bills Radio Network.
All right, here we go. We gotta have a drive.
23 left.
1, 2, 3.
This is the Buffalo Bills postgame show. Here's Nate Geary.
All right, welcome into the postgame show here on the Buffalo Bills Radio Network. Nate Geary here for you the next hour and a half. The Bills get to 4-2. Somehow they find a way, 23-20, despite some maybe their best efforts to give this game back to the New York Jets. The Hail Mary at the end of the half, the missed field goal from Tyler Bass, a missed extra point from Tyler Bass, but an interception at the end of the game by who else? Taron Johnson, coming back from injury after missing the last 4 weeks. A huge win for the Buffalo Bills, a much-needed win for the Buffalo Bills to, stave off any potential hope the New York Jets had to take this division back. I mean, this goes from being tied for first place in the division, record-wise, but having the tiebreaker go to the New York Jets. And now the Bills have a 2-game lead on the rest of this division with a couple of very winnable games, should be wins over the next couple of weeks against the Titans and Seahawks. So the Bills now enter the stage of their schedule where coming in at 4-2 was hugely advantageous. Frankly, 5-1 would have been better, obviously. But the Bills find themselves in a position now to start stacking some wins and get ready for the meat of their schedule, where they're going to face off against, obviously the Super Bowl winners and the Kansas City Chiefs, who are undefeated right now, and the San Francisco 49ers, who's the NFC champion after last year, and probably the Detroit Lions, who might be the best team in football right now. So a much-needed victory, an AFC victory, a divisional victory, and the Bills get it done. We've got Bills quarterback Josh Allen.
How you guys executed the ball to Victor?
Called our best pass play. Saw 0, got to a 0 check. They played it well, and I just kind of peeked backside, and there was an opportunity to go get it, so that's what I did.
With the way that the did go, not having James tonight, another crazy game between the Bills and the Jets, just what does it say about the toughness of this team?
Resilient guys. Proud of how Ty and Ray stepped up in the run game today. I thought our guys blocked their tails off in the pass game. I think we got it to quite a few different guys. And first half was very, very good, and we got to find a way in that second half to keep that momentum going. A lot to learn from. Got a little sloppy there at the end. Some penalties, but it was a team win.
Hey Josh, this has been a tough place for you the last couple of years. What does it mean to survive this well and go to 4-2?
It was great. I wanted to come out and play a clean game, get through my reads quickly. I'm not sure what I finished with, but felt like we were pretty efficient on the offensive side of the ball. It's a couple plays that I missed that I went back. That third down to Dalton, overthrew him. There was an in-cut from 0 that I could have thrown, but at the end of the day, all you need to do is score one more point than them.
Is that a buzzword, efficiency, throughout the week? Sort of take what they're giving you, not kind of force things down?
Well, I think coming back to the first game here last year, just getting a little greedy and wasn't trusting what I was seeing. In that second game at home, felt like we got into a rhythm and a little groove and started trusting what I was seeing and just getting through my progressions well. And guys did a good job of getting open tonight and catching the ball and making some plays for us.
What about the effort from Ray Davis tonight? You needed him without James, and he came through with a big performance.
Yeah, it was awesome to see. That's why we drafted him. He's not going to surprise you with his speed, but he's just so quick in and out of his cuts. He's downhill. And his center of gravity is so low that he's tough to bring down. And he runs the ball super hard, protects the ball. I'm very proud of him for stepping up.
On the long pass to him, is it a running back 45 yards downfield? Was that sort of his scramble rule on that play?
Yeah, I got out. I saw a flag being thrown for defensive holding, and just felt like I had a free play there and just gave him a shot, and he made a play for us.
Things could have gone bad at the end of that second quarter. There's a fumble. You guys recovered it. Then you throw a touchdown.
That was the biggest play of the game. Dalton Kincaid running the ball, Saibo running the ball, and us being able to score a touchdown. I think on that next play or 2 plays later, whatever it was. But biggest play of the game right there was just our guys out efforting them, and it was that's good to see.
You had issues turning over the ball here at this place. Did you feel like after that play it was, okay, maybe this is going to be different this year here?
Yes and no. Again, I was just trying to take it one play at a time and just, like I said, get through my reads and trust what I was seeing.
Josh, you take them all, as individual games, but division game against them. What's this mean for you guys? We know that's goal number one.
Yeah, our number one goal is to make the playoffs, and you do that by winning your division. So we understand the gravity of this type of game. Us being 4-2, a 2.5 game lead with the head-to-head win, as opposed to being 3-3 and being second place. So big game for us in terms of where it stands in the grand scheme of things. Though it was the next one, and that's why it was the most important. And we'll turn our attention to Sunday.
Josh, what's the mood going into the locker room after that kind of a disastrous end of the half?
Yeah, obviously, kind of a gut punch. Going in thinking you're going to have a 2-score lead there, and they catch a Hail Mary, which again, that's part of the game. That's why we play it, and fans love to see those type of plays. And when you're on the opposing side, you're like, this freaking guy, So again, fighting through adversity, getting in at halftime, regrouping, saying let's just control, one play at a time. We didn't score as many points in that second half as I'd like, but found a way.
Hey, Josh, your first drive tonight seemed like the aggression was there. Eric Wood even said you were like bullied then that very first drive. Was that the mindset this week?
I think so. And that started with our O-line and our running backs. I think even Dalton Kincaid on that, I think it was the second play, putting his shoulder down and going and getting a first down. So that just tells us we were ready to play and that our guys trusted our game plan, and we just were out there executing at a high level.
With a large number of penalties on both sides tonight, was it hard to get into a rhythm, stay in a rhythm? Because it always seemed you were starting, stopping.
Yeah, I think in that second half, just being behind the sticks, first and 15, first and 20, doing that too many times. We had false starts, legal formations, just stuff that, we need to clean up, and we'll look at the film and take it from there. But ultimately, that's on my shoulders, so I got to be better for us there.
Josh, first game back for Taryn, and he makes what ends up being the game-sealing interception. After missing those first 4 games, how nice was it to see sort of him have that moment, and how do you describe what he means to this team?
That's great. He's the best nickel in the game, and that's a heck of a play. And we missed him, and I'm glad to have him back on the field doing his thing because he's such a great defensive weapon for us. We feel like he can guard anybody, and again, he just continues to make big plays.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
All right, that is Bills quarterback Josh Allen following again their 23-20 victory over the New York Jets. Looking back at some of the plays that decided this game, most notably the third down run by Josh Allen to seal the deal at the end, mentions there in his postgame comments there that it was actually their, quote, best pass play that they called. So the Bills were willing to throw the football to get the first down. Loved the decision-making from Josh Allen to tuck it, get back to the left side. You could see the entire defense moving to the right side, Josh's right side, with the offensive line who were all moving to the right there. It looked like they were probably going to dump it off to Ty Johnson and give him a chance to get the first down. Instead, Josh runs it the other way, uses his legs, and picks up the game-winning first down. So really headsy play there from Bills quarterback Josh Allen to seal the deal tonight and a much needed win. Time now to get connected with our fans. It's powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today. Let's go to Justin in Charlotte. Justin, you're on the post-game show. Good evening, Justin.
Hey, Nate. How's it going? Just wanted to talk about Tyler Best. It's crazy that Tyler Best keeps on missing, man. It's time that the Bills move on from him, or they bring in another kicker and put one on the practice squad and just have a competition between Tyler Best and the practice squad kicker, and I don't know really what you do in this situation. It's just week after week. It seems like. But anyways, I'll hang up and listen. Go Bills.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Justin. I think there's a pretty neck and neck competition going between who has less confidence in Tyler Bass. Is it the Bills fans, or is it Tyler Bass himself? Because it just, to me, appears he just lost most of his confidence and looks like the shell of the player that he was 2 years ago when he signed that extension. Right now, it's more of a financial decision than anything. If the Bills are thinking about working on a trade for a potential wide receiver, I think you got to keep in the back of your mind here, any potential signing of a practice squad kicker takes away from the pot of money you could use to upgrade the wide receiver position. So definitely something I'm sure they're going to consider and think about on the short week. I would be surprised if a kicker comes in this week. But it's right now a move that they have to be contemplating right up there with, should they add another wide receiver to this room? So something to keep an eye on here over the next 24 hours. Thanks for the call, Justin. Let's go to Andrew in Buffalo. Andrew, you're on the post-game show. Good evening, Andrew.
Hey, Nate. How's it going, man?
Good, buddy.
Good. Hey, so just wanted to talk real quick. Again, I think the offense just maybe not firing on all cylinders. Obviously, I know with Cook out tonight, it makes it a little tougher. But Ray Davis coming through in the clutch. Thought he had a great game. Guy played really well. The guy can ball. But really wanted to focus in on the defense. Even with all the injuries on defense, like they're still playing well. They're coming up with big plays in big-time situations to get us through it. Do you think it's sustainable long-term, like going forward without Milano and looking further down the road? Yeah, that's basically it. That's all I got tonight. Just wanted to see if you think it's sustainable. But go Bills, good win. Not pretty, but hey, we got it done.
Yeah, I think you take not pretty wins at this point, right, Andrew? I mean, obviously last week, I think the Bills executed the way they did, especially on offense this week, that they probably beat the Texans last week. They just did not execute offensively really at any juncture of the game, or at least consistently from series to series, much less down to down. So, I think that they were better today offensively with a very limited Khalil Shakir. I don't see the snap. I haven't seen the snap counts yet. Those usually come out tomorrow. But I'd be willing to bet he played less than 50% of the snaps out there today. I think he got some good. You got some good burn from Keon Coleman. I still think that they're relying way too much on Matt Collins. I think you finally saw a little bit of Dawson Knox tonight. Obviously gets the touchdown catch, but I'd like to see him more involved in this offense. Dalton Kincaid finally kind of being featured, having plays specifically designed for him to get open. Some stuff you like to see. I still want to see his game start moving down the field a little bit more. And obviously, the big shot to Ray Davis. Offensively, they played well. I still think that they don't have that big play. Unless Josh Allen it's off script. Right now, they do not have a schemed up big play or explosive plays, and that's going to have to come. And again, I think the question will be is even with a fully healthy Khalil Shakir, and hey, we even saw a little bit from Curtis Samuel today down the field, not just at the line of scrimmage. I think that they've got to find ways to execute explosive plays through the pass game, and that's just not there right now unless Josh Allen makes special plays. And I don't think you can rely on that week in and week out. I think you've got to find ways to design those explosive plays through the air, and right now the Bills' offense just isn't doing it. Defensively, this is like the third or fourth week in a row, but this feels more of like a Sean McDermott's coach defense trend for me, which is they start these games very slow. The first two drives, really the Jets did whatever they wanted offensively for the first two drives, and all of a sudden they turn into the 85 Bears. This happened last week. Now Nico Collins goes out last week with injury, and I think you could point to that as a reason the Bills really clamped down on the Texans in the second half. But getting turnovers when they matter. I thought the Bills defense turned the ball over in a very pivotal situation last week. That sack fumble, I think it was Dwayne Smoot who forced it, and the Bills weren't able to capitalize and ended up kicking a field goal and ended up being the reason they ultimately don't win that game last week. So is it sustainable defensively? I think if they can continue getting healthy, Terrell Bernard still, just to me, is the best player on this defense. Get Taron Johnson sort of back in the mix here. I think week in and week out, really down in and down out. I would like to see a little bit more consistent play from Rasul Douglas. But when he's good, he's good. And just another tremendous game from Christian Benford tonight, who really just continues to evolve right in front of our eyes to be, I think, one of the league's best zone corners. Towards the end of the year, I think this is a guy that not only will be getting his flowers from Pro Bowl votes, but I would be hard-pressed to think that he's not in maybe in the conversation for an All-Pro or a second-team All-Pro look. He's had that kind of effect this season. He's been just really, really good for the Bills, and another player you can point to as really developed nicely into an elite level role for this defense in a much needed position. Obviously, losing Trey White and not getting what you thought you were going to get out of Kyrie Elam. He has been a pleasant surprise really since his rookie season, but he's rounding into one of the best cover corners in all of football. Let's go to Matt in New York. Matt, thanks for waiting on hold. You're on the postgame show. Good evening, Matt.
Thanks, Nate. Oh, man, so many things to vent about tonight. How, terrible of a product that the NFL has made a once great game.
How did I not even start the show talking about how terrible this referee? It was and it wasn't just on one side either, Matt. It was some of the worst, refereeing I've seen in some time, and prime time nonetheless.
I could be an NFC West fan. I'd be watching this game, pulling my hair out. Just every play with the yellow flag. It makes it nauseating, and they really have to address it. These primetime games, I don't know where the Sky Judge is coming in. It just doesn't seem like there's a rhyme or reason. But I really call us to take us back, take us back 9 months almost to the day January 21st, that's the exact moment we should have moved on from Tyler Bass. $7.3 million in dead cap, fine. You know what's going to make that easier to swallow? When we don't have to rely on a guy that we don't trust to lose us another game when it matters most. And tonight we were bailed out by it, thank God, but it should have been right after that moment in January because there's just no trust there. I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Matt. Yeah, and just another point on the refereeing. I had somebody during the game sending me some context to some of these calls from this group of officials. Where is it? This Adrian Hill officiating crew on Monday Night Football led the NFL in roughing the passer penalties coming into this game. And then they also, in unnecessary roughness penalties 2023, they are the number 2 penalized team for unnecessary roughness last year. The Buffalo Bills were. Just some stuff to clean up from this game, but it was terrible refereeing, and obviously the Tyler Bass point, we could probably beat that into the ground. I just don't know what the Bills' options are right now. I mentioned, wanting to make sure that they've got the kind of room that they want to have or potentially will need to have to swing a move. Doesn't necessarily mean a move for Davante Adams, but, I do think that this team still needs to upgrade the wide receiver room over Matt Collins and over MVS as well. So got to keep that in mind. And as well as there just isn't really starting caliber kickers hanging around in free agency, especially after week 6. It's kind of you've dug your grave. Can you get through the rest of the season and then address this in the offseason with either A, a free agent signing, or B, going out and drafting somebody again? I think that's definitely on the docket for the Bills moving forward. Thanks for the call. Let's go to Neil in North Jersey. Neil, you're on the Postgame show. Good evening to you, Neil.
Thanks for taking my call, Nate.
Sure.
Greatly appreciate it. It's a pleasure to speak with you as always.
Always, my friend.
I am going to coin an acronym, PTMD, post-traumatic McDermott disorder, because for that crap that he did, rushing 2 guys and allowing a Hail Mary, and then when he's asked about it, we're defending the sideline. This guy, Sean McDermott should get down on his knees and thank whatever God he believes in, that Josh Allen bails this guy out from the true awfulness that he is as our head coach. If he would have lost this game tonight, there is no way that this guy could have continued to be our coach. I will say this until I'm blue in the face. He's the Marty Schottenheimer of this generation, good in the regular season, but this guy coaches scared in big moments. But I will say this. Our defense did clamp down, but I thought the Jets lost this game more than the Bills won it. Taylor Rapp, 3 balls got knocked out because that guy hits hard. Taron Johnson, one of the most amazing interceptions I've ever seen. But this team is a heart attack waiting to happen. I have never, and I'm not going to even say this is the worst officiated game of all time because it's kind of obvious. But these referees, I have really felt like they felt, we gave the Jets a bad call. Let's give the Bills a bad call. This was like they wanted more screen time and air time than the players. This crew should never be allowed to officiate an NFL game for the rest of their lives, whether it's together or individually. It made this unwatchable football. Question for you real quick. I think Davante Adams is too expensive of a get. I think a second, like an Amari Cooper, Romeo Doubs, is a better get or an easier get. Would you go that route to get a receiver as opposed to Davante Adams?
Yeah, thanks for the call, Neil. It's a good question on kind of what your options are for it. I don't believe that Romeo Doubs is available. He shouldn't be. He's a young, good boundary receiver, and those are hard to come by. I would be very surprised. I know some of the drama around there this week, getting suspended for conduct detrimental to the team, so on and so forth. But I don't get the sense he's available. Now, Amari Cooper, I think, is absolutely a player the Bills could go and target. If Cleveland is sort of ready to start scrapping and trading off pieces to a roster that's being held down by some of the worst quarterback play I've ever seen. We'll see. I think right now, if Davante Adams, if you can make it work, I think that makes a lot of sense for the Bills. But, I still don't love the idea of trading a second-round pick, which is probably what they'll have to do. This is a team that still needs to backstock their roster, especially in the depth department. And we're talking about probably needing to draft a kicker. So, you're going to need all the picks you can get. Thanks for the call, Mike. Let's go to Mike in Oakville. Mike, you're on the Postgame show. Good evening, Mike.
Nate, thanks for taking my call, man.
Sure
Love
thing.
you on the Postgame, bud.
Thanks, man.
Okay, couple of things. I just don't understand the previous callers. I just want to shed a little light on tonight. Tough win to kick in, obviously. And if we watch Bass, he was trying to kick low-line drivers, not boot shank in the first quarter or second quarter that went left. The wind was howling. They mentioned it a bunch of times on ESPN. And the callers tonight, I just don't get it. Like, it was a chippy. The refs were not the greatest. A lot of penalties both ways. Some called, some missed calls. But the caller before just said he hates McDermott. The first thing he said was, I loved how the defense played. He singled out all the defensive players. They made good big plays. And if not for the Hail Mary, it's a different result. I just want to give the Bills a lot of credit for coming out and knowing that it was going to be a dogfight. Kincaid putting his helmet down on his first catch. Davis, this was the Ray Davis game, in my opinion. Running hard. They knew it was going to be a dogfight, and they came up. They didn't shy away like Baltimore and maybe Houston a little bit. But, I mean, all in all, still early. They're still feeling each other out. I do agree on Matt Collins. I don't want to see that guy on the field other than on obvious rundowns or special teams. I agree with that part of the callers. But some of the callers just losing their minds. I don't think this is the 2021 Bills. This is a different team, different players, different philosophies, different schemes. We got to go 1 week at a time. Each week is new. It's not always going to be the way we love it. And I just hope go Bills and carry on.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Mike. It's, you are right. It is a week to. It just in these clutch moments, it just appears that this coaching staff, and it's not only Sean McDermott, but it is a trend. I mean, the Hail Mary at the end of the half, and last week, obviously the play calling at the end of the game, that's a Joe Brady thing. But your head coach you have to be on the same page as your coordinators in those moments. And it's regular that in these moments, the Bills, there's some sort of disconnect, either between special teams coordinators or offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators. There just does not seem to be good enough communication, and everyone's sort of on the same page, and it needs to be in those big situations more than ever. Before we hear from Bills head coach Sean McDermott, who we should be hearing from in any moment, we're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Buffalo Bills Radio Network.
Interact with our stable of former players, coaches, and executives all day long on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
We'll get to a couple more phone calls here in just a moment, but first, let's get to the Skyworks stats of the game. Skyworks Equipment Rental, building America from the ground up. And Josh Allen in this game, 19 of 25 for 215 yards and 2 scores. He finished the game with a 127.9 passer rating on the ground. We had another caller just calling talking about how this will be the Ray Davis game. Over 150 yards in total offense tonight for Ray Davis. 20 carries, 97 yards. They really fed him the rock. Ty Johnson started the game, took the first handoff, and then after that, it was really all Ray Davis in this game. He also added 3 catches for 55 yards. Obviously, that big 42-yard pass play from Josh Allen. And then also in the pass game as well, a nice night from Dalton Kincaid. 6 catches on 7 targets for 51 yards. Curtis Samuel has his best game as a Bill, 3 for 44 in this game, including a nice 38-yarder down the left sidelines. And then Keon Coleman, 3 for 26 in this game. Khalil Shakir, 2 for 19. And again, limited usage for Khalil Shakir tonight, coming off of that ankle injury, was questionable all week. Ended up going for the Bills. So that's there you go. There's your Skyworks stats of the game. Let's go back to the phones while we wait for Bills head coach Sean McDermott. Let's go to Rick in Cleveland, who's been waiting patiently. Rick, you're on the postgame show, and good evening to you.
Hey, Nate. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Ray Davis was amazing tonight, and I know the Bills got a lot of flack for drafting him, but I feel like the James Cook second contract conversation is already over. Kind of what they do, they draft a running back in the second or third round every 2 years, and he was great. And I think, everybody gives him flack for that, but they kind of have a plan in place for that. So, it was good to see that kind of fruition tonight and something that we don't have to worry about moving forward. The defense, people can say what they want. They don't have that many injuries anymore. I know Milano's out, but they were not good tonight. I mean, how many punts did the Jets have? So that's concerning to me too. So just kind of want to get your thoughts on those 2 points and see what you had to say.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Rick. Listen, I mean, I obviously on the Ray Davis point, he played great tonight, but also I think to your point about the defense, obviously no Matt Milano in this game. It was great to see. It was great to see Taylor Rapp back. I thought Taylor Rapp probably played his best game as a Bill tonight. A couple of really big hits jarring the ball loose, but he's bringing down that target area of contact. A couple of things that have frustrated me about Rapp is he gets in those situations and he's headhunting and gets that 15-yard penalty. Today, the one in the end zone, he hit Garrett Wilson right between the numbers. It was a perfectly legal and perfect hit. For the Bills. So great game all around for him as well. Thanks for the call. Let's go to Eddie in Lancaster. Eddie, you're on the postgame show. Good evening, Eddie.
Yeah, great point. Rapp pretty much won the game for the defense. Good observations. I've been watching the Jets play prior to this game, and one of the things I really wanted to see was the defense have a plan to bring random pressure. I'm not talking zero blitz. But I wanted to see more because I can see that Rodgers is not moving well, and he does not. When he starts to see a little pressure, he really changes what he's doing, and I didn't think we did enough of that. We got away with it. I know what their plan is. They want give them the space, and then we'll rush to the ball. And if it wasn't for Rapp, I don't think we win the game because he made those hits, jarred those passes loose. But my point is, our front four is good, but it's okay to bring a guy. I don't mind. You want to give these huge open zones, it is going to hurt you to drop a linebacker on a blitz once in a while because you're giving them an open zone anyway. So I just think a player like Rodgers, I wanted to see more pressure. On the other side of the ball, I mean, come on. We've been watching this. When there's 10 seconds left, when there's 6 seconds left, no other team I've ever watched in the league does the things we do. And we continually, I understand how rare it is that these things happen, but it's not rare against us, okay? And so they need to stop doing this conservative, everybody play back in this weird umbrella. I am tired of it. Let the team beat you straight up if they're going to beat you on a 60-yard pass, because that really changed the game again for the Bills. But I was really glad that Josh completely turned back, and his throws were much more online. I'm very happy with that. The offensive line was strong, and boy, that running back, man, he's a Pacheco-like player. I just love the kid. Thanks, guys.
It's a good comp. Thanks for the call, Eddie. Yeah, I like that comparison a lot. Just runs angry, right? He gets downhill. He's not a dance around kind of guy. It's a one cut, gets uphill, or I should say downhill, very quickly. It was an impressive game for me. He hadn't really popped yet this year. Obviously, very limited work, only a couple of carries here and there per game. But your point about the offensive line also isn't really lost on me, Eddie. I think that this was a really important bounce-back game for the offensive line, who over the last 2 weeks struggled against some blitz-heavy teams and teams that mixed up their pressure looks and some simulated rushes. And, having 7 guys around the line of scrimmage and then dropping, 8 back into coverage and really confusing things for this offensive line and for Josh Allen. And I thought Josh played a lot more calm in this game that he has over the last 2 weeks. And then he still just does the stuff where he extends plays. The Dawson Knox touchdown was just a thing of beauty. And obviously the Ray Davis throw is just as good as it gets. It's vintage, quote unquote, Josh Allen, and after the play, just really good stuff from Allen, from this offensive line, and from the offense in total, who I think could have had more points in this game. If you don't have so many damn penalties and mistakes, some of those are on the referees, but some of them are just messy, not attention to detail level football from the Bills. That was a real issue tonight. Thanks for the call. Let's go to Al, who is at MetLife tonight. Al, you're on the postgame show. Good evening, Al.
Oh, hey guys, thanks for taking my call.
No worries, man. What do you got?
Yeah, actually, so I ran into Sneaky Joe, ironically, from...
tell him to go to work. It would be nice if I could go enjoy a game, right? What do you think, Al?
Yeah, and, okay, so late in the game, they did have that... there was some type of pass interference on the Bills where they didn't show the replay, and it seemed a little sketchy. But I think at the end of the day, the worst thing that happened was I did see Sneaky Joe, and I did show him the thigh dance, and he did not dance back with me. And I don't know why, if that's like a thing or...
I'll talk to him for you, Al. I'll talk to him for you. Thanks for the call, Al. I appreciate it. Sneaky Joe was at the game tonight. He got to play some Bethpage golf on Saturday and was planning on getting to the game, so glad you saw him, Al. Let's go to Rob in Connecticut. Rob, you're on the postgame show. Good evening, Rob.
Hey, Nate, what's going on? I had a little cardiac arrest tonight, buddy.
Heard that, man.
Boy. Yeah, right? But speaking of Sneaky Joe, and I think he actually wore the red Tyrod Taylor jersey tonight. But anyways, listen, I think one of the best part of the game was actually the first drive of the game. They just looked so fluent. I had a lot of confidence in that. But then as the game continued, it was just the penalties were ridiculous. Tail Rapp was ridiculous. I mean, he came back and just he made it. I mean, he just absolutely crushed it. And then, of course, Davis did a great job out there. Just still apprehensive about the season. Tighten up a little bit. It's nice to see Johnson get that interception. It's so ironic how T-Bird, Terrell Bernard, got his last week, just coming back, and now we got Johnson who got the interception. The one thing that I really hated the most was that call on Epinesa. That was not.
That was terrible.
That was clean, and that just sent me over the edge. But other than that, I mean, hey, it's a win. We won. Let's move forward. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Rob. It's funny, after the game, I'm seeing some quotes from Aaron Rodgers after the game and mentioned how poor the refereeing and a lot of the issues he had, including the pass interference or the roughing the passer call, which he said he didn't think was a penalty. He also apparently is dragging Mike Williams in quotes. I'm trying to find the exact quote for you here from Aaron Rodgers, who spoke after the game. I'm trying to see if I can find the quote. Apparently, he was mean to Mike Williams. Well, to find out. And Mike Williams, by the way, was the receiver on that interception who sort of fell, and then Taron Johnson made an unbelievable play for the ball. It wasn't just to get the ball, but it was also to maintain the catch all the way through. It was really good stuff from Taron Johnson making his return from injury. So that was great to see. We are still waiting for Bills head coach Sean McDermott. We're going to stay here and go to another phone call. Let's go to Bill in North Tonawanda. Bill, you're on the postgame show. Good evening, Bill.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, man.
I was watching the game tonight. I mean, the first half was really good. The Bills and Jets both played good. Then I watched the second half, and I almost didn't even know what happened in it because there were so many penalties, like, on every single play. But, like, I'm listening to a lot of callers talking, like, trash about McDermott. Like, he's calling those plays or whatever, but the players have to make plays too.
Yeah, here's the thing though, Bill. Like, and we'll hear an explanation, I'm sure, at some point whenever Coach speaks here. But on that play, they have AJ Epinesa and Gregory Rousseau dropping into coverage at like 20 or 30 yards down the field. And we're going to hear from Coach right now, Bill. So here's head coach Sean McDermott.
Win on the road, last 3 games in a row on the road. Thought it was a gritty win. Josh, led by Josh. Offense got off to a good start, established a line of scrimmage early in the game. Ray Davis really stepped up in James's absence. Thought he ran tough, ran physical, protected the ball. Red zone offense, red zone defense, a big difference in the game. And then Taron with a great play at the end, and T-Rap had another great play breaking up the pass in the end zone there. With that, I'll turn it over to you with your questions.
John, it seems, I don't want to speak for the room, but like an uncharacteristic performance by one of your teams. Discipline, situational awareness, things like that. How do you process this right afterwards?
Yeah, we've got a lot to clean up. We've got to be more disciplined. We can't beat ourselves. Situational football, we've got to go back and re-examine the situation at the end of the half. With the sideline play, we were defending the sideline with the potential for the field goal, and left a Hail Mary, check to a Hail Mary, and so we've got to go back and re-examine that as well. So a lot to clean up, and we got a short week to do it.
Josh had a tough game last week. Rebounds.
Yeah, thank you. Just so it's more here. Sorry.
Tough game for Josh last week. Bounces back with a much better performance. What was the difference from your perspective for him today?
Yeah, number one, when you're able to run the football, it helps. We were able to run the football last week, don't get me wrong. But coming out the way we did, I think established a line of scrimmage, and Josh was seeing the game. He was seeing their defensive looks and going through his progression, getting the ball out when he needed to, and then he made some loose plays like he always does. And our scramble drill, those are things you don't take for granted when he gets loose, that what we call a scramble drill, the patterns that match up with his and where he's going, his scramble and his mobility in those situations. We got some completions off him as well. So we practiced that this week. Joe did a great job making sure we were getting that in practice this week, and then you saw the execution of it.
Sean, you mentioned Taylor Rapp and Taron Johnson. Just what did they mean to this defense tonight, coming back after?
Yeah, we missed them. We missed them last week. Good to have them both back. They made some big plays for us. We've got some young guys out there playing, and those two are some of our veteran players. And you could tell, in the week of practice, you could tell that there was a difference in just the communication and the speed at which we were playing on defense during the week.
How much from your position as coach did you have to kind of handle Deion's emotions and passion? It seemed like it was overflowing at times.
Yeah, definitely. For not just Deion, but just too many penalties overall. And it's hard to win when you've got 11 penalties, 6 of which I believe were either pre-snap or post-whistle penalties, which is not how we handle ourselves. And so we just play football the right way. That takes care of a lot of it.
With Deion, I more meant like the stuff before the game, the history there with this team, the back and forth, even walking off the field, kind of pointing at some of their players. How do you manage that as a coach?
Well, you address it, and you do the best you can. At the end of the day, then he's got to take that and make sure he's thinking of the team first. And those pre-snap, those are pre-snap or post-whistle. Those are non-negotiable. That we don't tolerate that stuff. So we've got to do a better job in that category for sure.
There was a time, Sean, on the sideline where Josh made it a point to address some players whose emotions were maybe going a little bit overboard, as you're talking about. Is that what you need to see in a leader in Josh Allen?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And not just him, but he carries so much influence when he does things like that, when he's keeping his composure, keeping his head about him. In addition to playing the way he played tonight, that's a sign of a leader, and then you can see the influence that carries. And so, I thought TB does a similar thing on the defensive side. I thought he did some of that tonight, and we need that. That's important. The player-driven leadership is huge.
Sean, we've asked about Tyler Bass kind of going back to training camp with some bumps there and throughout the season as well. Just what's your confidence level in him right now, and what are you seeing during the week that's different from games?
He knows he needs to make those kicks. That's the bottom line. He knows he needs to make those kicks.
Sean, you mentioned the play at the end of the half. That situation, is that something that is decided in the moment, or is that done Thursday? I mean, can you maybe take us through how you're rolling out that, what you're going to do?
At the end of the day, it didn't work, right? So that's why we have to go back and re-examine it. There's a grid you go through at the end of half or end of game situations based on the time on the clock, the timeouts they have, and you try and put your best defense out there for the situation. Like I said, at the end of the day, they executed better than we did, and so we've got to go back and re-examine, making sure we've got the right number of rushers for that situation, as well as the right number of cover guys, and so that'll be done this week.
Sean, situationally, the end of this game mirrored a lot of what we saw in Houston, where you get the ball back deep in your end, you decide to run it twice this time, actually 3 times this time. After that Houston game, you said this is something we're going to learn from. Did you see it kind of come to fruition in this one?
We did. I mean, sometimes you put in the work and it doesn't, right? But we spent a lot of time this week meeting just from a game operations, game management standpoint, and I thought we handled it extremely well. And then 17 kind of drew that one up, that last play in the dirt a little bit, and he's a heck of a competitor. So.
We're 6.5 minutes in, and we haven't mentioned Ray Davis yet.
I think I mentioned him earlier.
I'm sorry. Well, let's elaborate on the game.
You did right off the top.
The game. All right. Well, the game that he had and how you were able to deploy him, and when did you know that James Cook wasn't going to be able to go for it?
Yeah, James, I'll give him credit, and Khalil too. You get some guys out there pushing through it. Teams are hurt this time, 6-7 weeks in, whatever it is now, and most guys are playing with things, and Khalil being out there, he wasn't 100%, but appreciate how he was able to get through it and push through for his team, and you could just see it on his face during the week, even though I think he only got a little bit of a few reps on what was our Saturday, I believe, and James got a few reps also. We were planning on working him out before the game, and he just felt like he wasn't going to be able to help the team, and we all respect that. We want him out there. He wants to be out there, and hopefully he can get back for this week.
Sean, on that note, I'm sorry, I just wanted to follow. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just on Davis, the opening drive especially, 50 yards or whatever he had before he even caught that long pass. What did that, being able to establish that without James Cook?
You could feel it. You could feel our intent to win the line of scrimmage. You could feel that from our offense, from our offensive line. I mean, it takes 11 guys to run the ball well and run it effectively and run it with an attitude, and those guys, they came out with that and that type of mindset.
Just to build on that, the first drive, very physical, Coach. I mean, guys were falling forward every chance. Dalton even had a guy, his play. Is that something you talked about all week leading into this game?
Well, we knew what type of game it was going to be. We knew it was going to be close. They're a good football team. When you've got Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback and a high-level defense, we knew what type of game it was going to be. So, and quite honestly, most of their games have been just like that. Our offense came out and established, like I said, a mindset and a tone, and especially getting the rookie off to a good start. And Ty was in there too. Let's not forget Ty. And so two guys stepped up in James's absence.
Sean, how would you rate these last 3 road games, and how good will it be to return back home next week?
Well, I think you learn a lot about your team when you go on the road, especially for 3 straight weeks. And we learned a lot about ourselves even tonight, just in this game. So it'll be great to be back home. We can't take that for granted, though, in our preparation. And, again, on a short week, hopefully we get some guys back and put ourselves in position to play a good team at home in Tennessee.
Thank you, Sean.
All right, that is Bills head coach Sean McDermott, and Sean McDermott's Coach's Podium is brought to you by Northtown Kia, Western New York's #1 Kia dealer. Shop at northtownkia.com. Got to get some timeouts in, a whole bunch here over the next 40 minutes or so stick with us. If you're on hold, we'll get to you on the other side. It's 803-0550, the number to call. You're listening to the Postgame Show. I'm Nate Geary. This is the Buffalo Bills Radio Network.
Hey, Bills fans, phones weren't made to be broken, but life happens. So when you break your phone, Verizon in Buffalo's got you. Trade in any phone from one of their top brands in any condition, guaranteed, and get a great deal on one of their best 5G phones with unlimited ultimate. Switch now and save. Available at a Buffalo area Verizon store.
Great care depends on strong connections. And in this time of rapidly changing healthcare needs, United Healthcare is helping you stay connected to the people and services you depend on in many important ways. From virtual doctor visits to prescriptions delivered by mail to 24/7 one-on-one support. When you choose a United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan, we'll help you get the care you need quickly and easily. To learn more, call United Healthcare today at 844-861-7310.
At Honda, we dreamed up a better EV with the new Prologue SUV. We gave it more passenger room than the competition. We gave it an elevated design. And we made its technology intuitive with Google built-in. Everything about the Prologue was designed to make it easy to go electric, just like you'd expect from a Honda.
For great deals, visit your local upstate Honda dealer today.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
Dunn Tire has grown into a pillar of this community, serving generations of families. We build our success on 3 core principles: quality products, expert service, and honest relationships. People come to us because they know we'll take care of them. Dunn Tire has been serving this community for over half a century. We're more than just tires. We offer a wide range of automotive services and accessories, and we're a one-stop shop for all of our customers' needs. Dunn Tire. We're ready to serve you for another 50 years.
Dear Bills Mafia, for the ultimate tailgate, check out Toyota Trucks. Because when the grilling's done, Toyota takes adventure into overtime. Tacoma's as tough as they come. And the rugged Tundra wins big when the game's on the line. It's an all-pro lineup you'll root for every mile. Huddle up and find yours at Toyota.com today. Go Bills! Toyota, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Buffalo Bills. Toyota, let's go places.
Paid actors represent actual clients.
After my car accident, I didn't know if I had a case. So I called my attorneys at the Barnes firm. They got me $600,000.
Hi, I'm Rich Barnes. Do you have a case? Call the Barnes firm now. You might be surprised.
I called my attorneys at the Barnes firm when I was hit on my motorcycle. They got me $300,000, 5 times what insurance said they'd pay.
What's your case worth? Call our Buffalo office now and find out.
Past results don't predict future outcomes. 451 grinder, 500 Pearl.
Earth movers, aerial lifts, compaction, concrete equipment, forklifts, telehandlers, and a whole lot more. Skyworks Equipment Rental has the right construction equipment and tools you need to get the job done. With locations across the Northeast, Midwest, Southeast, and delivering to job sites nationwide, you can trust Skyworks to deploy equipment when and where you need it. To rent, purchase, or to schedule service for your own equipment with our factory-trained technicians, visit SkyworksLLC.com. Skyworks, building America from the ground up.
At Northwest Bank, we're here for what's next. The next one to go off to college someday, thanks to smart college savings plans. The next place to fill with love and laughter, with more mortgage options for first-time buyers. Even the next thing you can't go without, like savings accounts with even more competitive rates. So whatever's next for you, we'll help you get there. Northwest Bank, for what's next. Visit Northwest.com. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The team at Anderson Water, Power, and Air want to ensure that you're always prepared. With our Western New York weather, you never know when the next blizzard will strike. No matter the weather, the team at Anderson is ready to help you weather the storm. Snow, sleet, or hail, we install in any weather, and our 24/7 emergency service is there when you need it. Visit powerbyAnderson.com to ensure that your home is prepared for winter. That's powerbyAnderson.com.
Tap into Anderson.
The Buffalo Bills postgame show is being brought to you by Northwest Bank. For what's next, get started at Northwest.com.
By Lake Hour Premium Tequila and Vodka Hard Seltzers, Geneseo, New York.
By the New York State Office of Mental Health. Get the help you need, dial 988.
By Snapdragon Apples, the official apple of the Buffalo Bills.
And by Tullamore Dew. When it's game time, it's Tully time. This is Buffalo Bills football.